Hey, good morning, sports fans. Louis Diamond in our Las Vegas handicapping studios. And it's Saturday morning, and it is time for BettorCenter Live. And we got plenty of college football action for you today. I'm joined by my trusty right-hand Saturday morning college football guru, Tony Gulledge, the great white capper. Welcome, Tony. You ready for some college football today?
Fired up, ready to get it, Lou. Glad to be here today. Let's pick some winners. Let's go.
All right. We seem to be in a nice alignment with our colors today. No, we did not have production set us up that way, so very nice. All right, so Tony, let's just get right down to it. We'll start with our game, first game on our schedule, and that will be Pittsburgh and Florida State. Now, Pittsburgh opens up a 2.5-point favorite, and the tide has flipped. It is now a 2.5 Florida State favorite, and the total went from 51 to kind of 52, a little touch on the over. Certainly some play on Pittsburgh today. Supposed to be the battle of the quarterbacks. What are you thinking here?
Well, you got a couple teams that are definitely not great, right? But you've seen what both these teams bring to the table. I think Florida State back home here. Pittsburgh was positioned to play a big game against Notre Dame and just literally got crushed into the dirt, right? So that obviously set them back. And I think it's going to set them back mentally as well moving forward. That was at home. Everything was set up for them to have a decent game. They were only 9.5, 10-point underdogs to Notre Dame, and they lost 45-3. Now, Florida State, with their myriad of problems, a lot of it's coaching, strategy. You can blame it on a lot of things, but what I do see from Florida State is a physical, big team that can move the ball at times. It comes down to this quarterback play. If the guy doesn't give the game away, they're competitive with anybody. They beat North Carolina. They covered the spread against Notre Dame. So, and they're only giving 2 points here. This looks soft to me. I think they're giving Pittsburgh a little too much credit for a couple of those close wins. They've had a couple decent wins, but when you look at them really closely, you see there were reasons behind those wins. So for me, I like Florida State to get the job done. I think they're just going to be able to outmuscle Pittsburgh. It probably will be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout, but I do believe Florida State is the side to be on here.
All right, Tony, a little Florida State action. I have a little tough time with this game just because both teams just give you terrible numbers all the way around. The potential of two quarterbacks, maybe a little sniff on the over. But if there's one thing you have going for you today, Tony, is Florida State. When they're facing a team with a losing record, they capitalize, and they are 8-1 against the number when they play a team that has a losing record. So I will give you that there today. Tony comes at us with some Florida State action, -2.5. I think maybe a touch on the over if you want to see a little quarterback action in this game here today, but not much of opinion for me. So let's roll on to our next game, and that is going to feature the Flames of Liberty. And boy, are they waving right now. And they are at Virginia Tech. And, Virginia Tech, they got a great quarterback here right now, but so doesn't Liberty. People aren't that familiar with Malik. I forgot his last name. Malik Willis. He's a pretty outstanding little quarterback there. And as I've been saying all season long, all Liberty has done this football the last few years since they've gotten the FBS is really cover the spread. They've done a great job, and now they're top 25. They cracked the 25. So, Tony, I think you got a little something on this game. I know I got a little something on this game. Let me hear what you got.
Okay, well, you look at a school like Liberty going against an ACC team. I wanted to note that Liberty got their first win against the ACC team against Syracuse, 38-21. So they've already kind of shown this year that they can beat a Power 5 school. What I like to point about Liberty, if you look at their first couple games, they were very close wins, but their offense was steady. Since then, they've been crushing teams. And what you're getting here with this kind of school, you're not able to reload every single year, right? You're not able to get these recruiting classes and get people in there to help you win. But what you are able to do is get your core group of guys and build it up almost like a college basketball team. So here you are with these capable people that have been in this system for the third and fourth season, and they're firing well. I like what I'm seeing from Liberty. What they're able to do is possess the football with clean, cogent offense. They make, they're 5 yards, 10 yards, and they lull you to sleep and then get the big play over the top. They've got a couple good receivers. These guys aren't that easy to cover one-on-one, which a lot of these power teams would try to do to Liberty. You would basically just single cover the outside and try to cram the defense and crash the quarterback. If you try to do this to Liberty, I think Virginia Tech's defense, to me, is not that good. So how they're going to approach slowing Liberty down is going to be key. And you're giving me 17 points, really? I mean, I get it. Okay, I honestly, I can see kind of where they're going with this, but I think they're completely misreading Virginia Tech. They're off a big win. My note here, their last game that they played, Virginia Tech, the big 42-35 win on the road at Louisville. But if you look up and down Virginia Tech's defensive performances in games, they give up a lot of yards. They're not able to maintain possession of the ball. And Liberty is not that bad. I mean, I could see Virginia Tech maybe greasing out a hard-fought win here, but I would definitely not be shocked to see Liberty as a 17-point underdog give this team everything they want on the road. And I'll definitely take the points, but if Liberty wins, I would not be surprised.
Woo, baby, that's a big-ass money line to cash in. That might even, might have some legs, really, guys. So Liberty, as an underdog, the last 26 games, they covered 19 of them. As a road underdog, the last 21 games, they covered 16 of them. So they're a strong underdog. They're a strong road underdog. And they're strong on the road, 20-8 on the road overall. So they bring a lot to the table statistically. They bring a decent team. And, man, Virginia Tech, 2-7. The last 9 games as a favorite, 1-4 as a home favorite. They're laying 17, guys. Take advantage of Liberty today. Make some money with that one, guys. At Liberty, cash is a ticket. At least Tony and I believe that going in. So grab some Liberty, guys, and let's go to the next game on the schedule, which looks to possibly be a good game, but I don't know. Houston is at Cincinnati, and Cincinnati opens up a 10-point favorite. They move up to 12, and the total 53.5 down to actually 58. Now it's down to 51.5. So they're really steaming the under. I think the Sharpies are saying Houston's not going to be able to move the ball on the Cincinnati defense here today. I think that's what they're saying. It looks like Cincinnati and under on this side. What do you think, Tony?
You got Houston, man. I'll go over this as quickly as I can. The 2 wins they have, Tulane and Navy, 2 terrible teams. The 2 times that they have faced opponents that are even remotely good, BYU is actually a pretty damn good team. And then also UCF, who's not up to their normal standards. They got crushed, okay? And then you look at a team like Cincinnati, they surprised me a little bit with the SMU. I expected more, but that defense was smothering, right? And that's what I'm expecting to see here today. I think you hit it on the head there, Lou. When you look at Cincinnati, 2 games, SMU and Memphis, they played these tough games. Now their next 2 games are against Houston and East Carolina. So, there's 2 ways to look at this. Either they're going to kick it into gear now that they've gotten over the hump of their schedule, and they're ranked highly in the nation, so the motivation to give that eye appeal to everybody is there. This is a situation where Cincinnati can make a statement for, a playoff position, which would be hard to get, but they at least can make statements in games coming here out. And this spread doesn't look – I can see a game easily in the 20s. I actually have this as a 20-point game. I think they're giving Houston way too much credit. I understand there's possibly a soft spot for Cincinnati, but I see other factors of motivation and this defense. I love this defense. If you give me a good defense that can actually get good field position and even score for the team, I think that makes up a lot of points on the spread. And I'm with you here, Lou. I really like Cincinnati today.
I like what you're thinking as well. One thing, Coach Dana Holgren's Holgrensen said about to his players this week, or said to the media this week, which I think he scared his team with this comment. He said he's talking about Cincinnati. He says they're sound, they're fast, they're tough, they're physical, they're athletic, and they play with great effort, and they play well together as a team. Okay. Now, I understand a coach wants to get a team focused and get a team ready for a big game, but I think that says even Holgrensen is a little scared here today. So don't be surprised if they get wiped off the map. But Cincinnati and under seems to be the logical choice here today, at least in the pregame. So, all right. So our next game on the schedule, we're going to go over to the Big Ten. And Michigan, after getting completely upset by Michigan State, now faces Indiana, who's pretty much followed up the big Penn State win with a respectable win against Rutgers last week. So I guess we got a tough game here today. I mean, you would think Michigan minus 3.5 is a lot, but is Jim Harbaugh maybe on his way out the door in Michigan? What do you think, though?
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Lou. I think it smells terrible, right? I mean, it's almost like a dirty dumpster smell reeking up from this game. Indiana showing offensive competence. I tell you, when I watch them, it almost has like a high school feel from play to play, kind of the way they run their offense. But then at times it goes like silk. So I like what I'm seeing from them. And Michigan, I don't like it. They lost to Michigan State, who I'm looking at as another weak offensive team. And so at home, Indiana getting points against a named team. They're getting the opponent with a name, Michigan. You probably have this stat better than me, Lou. When's the last time Indiana beat Michigan? You know, they don't do it very often. This looks like a perfect opportunity. I think the Wolverines is a sucker bet. I'm playing Indiana in this spot. Not one of my bigger plays, but I definitely do like Indiana today in this game.
All right, a little Indiana, and I think it was 1997, did I see, that the last time Indiana beat Michigan? I'm trying to look forward as we're talking because I did.
Yeah, there's been a couple this year, Lou. This year you've had a couple of these where I think it was South Carolina beat Auburn for the first time since 1933. There's been a couple of these where things that haven't happened in generations are happening. So, like, this smells like a right setup. And what's funny is Michigan's ranked lower. Why Michigan's ranked, I have no idea, because they're probably 50 teams better than Michigan. It's obvious.
You got Harbaugh, you got Michigan. Right? They're ranked until proven otherwise, you know, that kind of garbage. So, and right now it seems to be proven otherwise. 1987 was the last time Indiana beat Michigan.
I knew it'd been a minute. I knew it'd been a while.
Yeah, 33 years ago. So, and you know what? They got the momentum right now. Big wins. Are they going to come flat? No, they had a chance to be flat last week.
Michigan. They're playing Michigan, dude. They're not coming in flat here. It's Michigan.
No, not at all. This is Super Bowl time. This is bam, right after Penn State. They still showed up, and now, boom, they'll show up today. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that outright winner. Got to kind of plug your nose a little bit, but I got to believe that just because, same thing. I'm sucked into Michigan, Harbaugh, only 3.5. But reality is Indiana probably win this game outright today. So hold on to your hats, bettors. And let's move on to the next game, guys. Michigan State now. After the big win, they have Iowa at home. Iowa at home now, minus 5.5. I think that's been bet down to -4. I'll try to get us an update. So I was looking at. I didn't have a fresh line. So Michigan State and Iowa. Tony, go ahead while I get us. Oh, actually, it is from 7 down to 4.5. The total 48.5 down to 47. Obviously, Michigan State will always get some under love. And Iowa at home now, 0-2. Are they going to finally pull this thing together for them?
Yeah, poor Iowa, right? Gave up the last-minute touchdown at Purdue. They've been the machine as a road favorite, right? We had talked about that earlier, and they got nipped at the buzzer to kind of end that long streak. I'm not giving up on that, but that kind of set it back. And then last week, giving up the 17-point lead to lose 21-20 to Northwestern. I like what I see from Iowa. They got to take care of the football, man. This quarterback, I know the coach is going nuts, but dude, you got to take care of the football. So you get Michigan State in here today off the win of Michigan. That loss to Rutgers doesn't look good. And now that we see what Michigan has, that little upset win against Michigan to me doesn't look good. I see an Iowa team that's going to win today, period. Now the question is the spread in the right line? I think it's a little soft. I love that it's coming down here because I think the position is for Iowa to give the best thing. They're going to give everything they got here. And Michigan State is not an offensive team, so their approach is going to be to keep it low grinding game, and I think Iowa's going to beat them at that low score. I love the low score here. Like I think you mentioned the low total, and unless Iowa gets there's a lot of turnovers or something crazy that makes a lot of quick points, which is I'm sure when you bet these totals, you always have to, that throws a monkey wrench in any plan, any kind of quick turnovers, quick scores that no one really can anticipate handicapping, right? So I'm looking at this like I agree. I think this game's going under a little bit, and I definitely like Iowa to get the cover. And as the spread's coming down, I'm going to assume these people are gauging this off Michigan State's win against Michigan. That's all I can really assume. And that Iowa's 0-2, right? So you combine those two together. That's why the money's coming in the other way. But I like Iowa here.
All right. And I tend to agree with you here. Probably a little more so on the under. 10-1 to the under the last 11.
I could see like a 16-6 game or something. I mean, the potential for that is here, where these teams don't do it. It's maybe a few field goals per half and maybe one lucky touchdown. And I could see this game being played in that punt back and forth, 5-minute possessions to get 30 yards and you punt it. I could see that, Lou. That's my only concern is, the turnover, maybe, where a team only has to go 20 yards to score a touchdown. That's a problem if you follow me. But I concur. I concur. This has potential to be a really low scoring game that goes 20 points under the under. If it plays out quite, perfectly, it can go way under.
My feelings, why I tend to play totals a lot more than sides. It's really because when you play a total, you're asking two teams to do what they, normally would do. So if you got two teams in an over scenario in the venue with all the numbers pointing towards the over, that's a lot stronger of an opinion to me than having two teams that are going to be fighting each other and trying to face each other to beat each other. When you have two teams playing to unders, they're in their zone. Right now, today, you have two teams that do play to unders. Like I said, 10-1 to the under for the Spartans. Their last 11 games as an underdog, and 5-1 their last to the under the last 6 road games. 13-5 to the under in the conference games. This is all for the Spartans. Now Iowa comes in as a 9-2 to the under their last 11 conference games. 10-3-1 to the under overall. So they should be in a comfortable zone, keeping at an under pace. But you can't really bank on all those trends to be the winner because 5 out of the last 7 in Iowa have gone over. But I still believe we got an underplay here. I will be rolling with the under with Michigan State and Iowa. And Tony seems to agree with that. But also, Tony is on Iowa. I believe that would be the right side. And speaking of the right side, if you want to get the right side of a nice ticket here today, as soon as this show is over, okay, I am going, but you can do it right now. You can text free winner to 90210, and I will get you a nice solid ticket today that's going to be college football and pro football mixed. It will more than likely be a teaser, but it could possibly be a money line parlay when we're done with the show. I will put this in there. So, but if you text free winner to 90210 and you do it right now, I will text you as soon as the play becomes available, and you will get college football and pro football. I'll entertain you throughout the whole week. I'll get you some nice plays and get you some nice opinions. Text free winner to 90210 or just call the number down below, 877-711-WINS, 877-711-9467, and I'll get you a nice either a teaser or a parlay, but there's going to be a few plays in there. I got a lot of plays in my mind here right now that I'm going to tie together, which I do almost every week. I almost tie every play that I have in teasers and parlays of some sort, okay, for when I do have that big day I want to cash. So, and I'll show you what I do. It's as simple as that. And we can talk about maybe getting a little more serious if you'd like. But if you're just looking for a free winner here today, that'll get you something solid through the weekend, I'll give it to you absolutely free. Text free winner to 90210. And the second part of this commercial will be over to Tony. And guys, I'm not trying to give you a bunch of commercials, but we got to at least try to pay the bills somehow, some way. We're getting you some really good information. We got you great information all week. And Tony works hard to come here Saturday morning and get you some good stuff. Tony, tell them how they can get a hold of you and what you can do for them. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity, Lou. thegreatwhitecapper.com. You can see it right there. Website, contact form, easy to get a hold of. I'll respond pretty promptly. Check over at Facebook. You can Tony Gulledge on Facebook. You can direct message me through Messenger. I've got a Facebook group, The Great White Capper. You can get a hold of me there. On Twitter, Tony Gulledge, at Tony Gulledge. Pretty simple. DM me there. I will get back in touch with you. I appreciate getting to do these shows. Like I say, I think we should just be out here trying to inform people to be better gamblers. Everybody understands the game at some point, but not everybody understands how to gamble sports. So, and that's what I've always sought to provide that opportunity to people, even my clients. I want them to be better gamblers when their experience with me is over. If I've done that, then I feel like I've accomplished my job. And at the same time, as much as I'm trying to make them money, I'm trying to prevent them from getting crushed. And that's the kind of service I run. I'm not full of shit. I'm not no pie in the sky. I'm just trying to educate you along the way. So if you're just looking for some sound, unhyped, no bullshit sports handicapping service, because I'm going to work as hard as anybody out there. I live these sports. I live numbers. I'm a statistician, basically, a numbers grinder. So I'm going to, and I understand how that applies to gambling. That's the key. You just can't be a numbers geek. You got to know how to interlace that with the gambling. And I've been doing this for over 25 years. So I think over time, it's taken a long time to get to this point, but I feel I have a better understanding of how not to get crushed. And at times I can be hot and we'll make a lot of money, but you'll be a better gambler. So come check me out, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Lou. I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate exactly what you're saying there, because a lot of times, gambling isn't really always about win. I mean, it is about winning. There's no doubt about that, but you can't do that every single day. So it's not always about winning. It's always about management.
Right. That's my first thought every day is I don't want to get crushed today. Now, people have different mentalities, how they approach gambling on sports, but that's my number one mentality, is to not put myself into position to get crushed. The winning will come. Trust me, if you have that mindset where I just don't want to lose, not scared, you're not betting scared, but you're betting not to get, so you're betting smarter. It's almost like you have to pretend like every day is the last day you get to gamble. You can't wait till you get in the hole and then need somebody to bail you out. You can't do that constantly over and over again, because you will get crushed. I've seen it hundreds of times over the decades. So the only way to really give yourself the potential to stay in this game long term is to be smart with every bet you make, and every day you have to view it as don't get crushed today. And like I say, if you do that, the wins will come.
Kind of reminds me of poker a little bit there, because I worked 5 years for ESPN for the World Series of Poker. During that time, I pretty much saw every real interview possible, but I got to know almost any real poker player. And I got real close with one poker player that would sit at the Bellagio every day, 200,000 on the table every night, just looking for his fish to come in. And I got pretty close with that guy, and I learned a great deal from him. And what probably the biggest thing I learned from him is it's not about the big wins. It's about the big laydowns. Simple as that.
That's
You
exactly
have
right.
to lay down. It doesn't matter how good something looks. You just can't go all in every time. It's about saving yourself on the laydowns. So, so I kind of equate a lot of that together with what you just said. Don't be afraid to not make a lot of money on a game. That's all. Just be happy to make money on the game, staying in the game. All right, let's get to our next game, Tony. And that is who the hell knows where the hell we are? I do know where we are. We're talking about a West Coast game that's going to start at 9 a.m. West Coast time. Wonder what that has, what kind of play that's going to matter. But that is going to be Arizona State, and they are at USC. Game opens up at 10 and a half, and currently, 7.5. Currently, it's really up to 11 and 11 and a half. The total 59 and a half down to 56 and a half. We got one of our viewers, Chumley, out there. He's saying ASU plus 10 and a half. Do I got that right? I lost my. He's going ASU plus 10 and a half. So we're going head to head with one of our viewers. There's your first pick. Chumley says 10 and a half. What about you today, Tony?
Tell you what, Arizona State under Herm Edwards, he brings in a philosophy of don't lose the game. He's there close to the vest. He's there to win games. Even with freshman quarterbacks that aren't that good, this team manages to hang in. When you give this team points, I think last year, straight up upset win is like double-digit underdog at Michigan State, like a 10-7 game. I think with Herbert, they beat him at home, or they definitely covered the spread. And they just kept the game where they needed to keep it. And so, yes, I'm imagining, Lou, you'll have the numbers. I think some of their games have been pretty low scoring considering they're in the Pac-12 where every 50-50 games are common. USC, there's not a lot to go on here, but what I do have to go on is I know Herm Edwards. I know how he's probably going to play this game to keep it to where it's going to be decided in the fourth quarter. That's going to be his goal. And I like their chances to keep this in double digits. I might be a sucker here. It's not one of my best plays of the day, but I agree with Chumley. I like Arizona State and the points.
All right, Chumley, you got a taker here. You got a customer. Congratulations on that one. I'd have to say if I got to lean, I got to lean with the points. But if I got to play, which I do, I got to play this game over. I'm going to disagree a little bit with you on that, Tony. And really, Herm Edwards, you're right. I don't really want to get involved too much with the Herm Edwards total over because he does like to manage. And,
he does.
And
he manages it like an NFL game, Lou. He does every game. He manages this like the clock. He's doing everything. He's involved every second of the game, and he's trying to milk it down and get it close at the end. I've watched this the 2 or 3 years he's been there. Every game he coaches the same way.
And I got a couple things that keep me a little worried from sending it all in on the over. 5 straight unders for the Sun Devils as a road underdog. 5-2 on the road. So on the road, they do not get involved in high
they're usually getting a lot of points in those games, Lou. They're usually getting like double digits. In a couple of games, they've actually won real low-scoring games. So right. I feel you with the over. Just letting you know, in my mind, I've watched these. They grind out some games, and Herm Edwards is going to play it that way. All the way to the
but we got Herm's got a quarterback this year, though. So
right, so they're hoping for good stuff here. I'm out here. I'm about about an hour from Tempe, out here on the west side of Phoenix. But yeah, they're looking for something good out of this team. I'm going to be reserved till I actually see it because I've seen what he's worked with on offense. Young kids that aren't very good, but he's milked it, by running the ball, playing defense. And I expect him to keep doing that until if these guys explode, this could be a good team. We'll have to see.
Right. Yeah, this Slovis kid, he had to come in after an injury last year, and he did a pretty good job. So I gotta believe that the overs. I'm still going to roll with my over here. Uh, they got a throwing team this year. 6 straight overs for USC.
Okay.
5 straight overs in the conference games. 5 straight or 7 out of 10 as a home favorite. No fans in the stadiums though today. So once again, I see that as an advantage to the over, and 5 out of the last 7 have gone over head to head. So I'm gonna pull the ticket on the over here today. I do like the points, but I think the over is a little bit. I know the over is going to be a stronger play for me. So all right, so good luck to you and Chumley on that game. Appreciate you watching, Chumley. Appreciate you throwing us some picks. We'll be happy to interact with you. We're going to get a little bit better, a little more people around us, and we'll get some chatter going as well in the coming future. So really appreciate you guys watching. And let's hit the next game. Stanford is at Oregon, and Oregon is I got it -8.5. Maybe I'll find it a little. Let me get a fresh line. And Stanford is now, or Oregon, up to -10. So some steam just on the overnight. And the total 52.5 down to 51. And I know you got a little some with us for this one, Tony. What do you got?
Yeah, this is one of my Action Jackson plays here. Just something to keep the appetite
Jackson.
wet. Action
That was a great
Jackson,
movie.
baby.
That was a
Carl
great
Weather.
movie.
Carl Weather. Action Jackson. Yeah, so we're just going to
Absolutely.
get a little something to get the taste buds flowing here. Stanford's won the last 2 games at Oregon. Oregon's won 16 of their last 17 Pac-12 games. But this seems to be the one team that can give them the most trouble. There's not a ton to go on here. I'm not going to sit here and bloviate and go over every detail of this. But, Oregon's got a new quarterback playing, obviously. I can't imagine they're going to come out here firing on all cylinders. Stanford, I like the way they kind of will grind. And I like I say, they played well in this stadium. So they're not going to be intimidated by any atmosphere, even if there was a crowd there. But they know how to win there, and they're going to feel confident. I like taking the points, and I can see why people are betting Oregon. That even makes me want to take Stanford more because I know what they're thinking, and I think they're wrong. So give me Stanford in this one, Lou.
All right, the Cardinal for Tony G. I am once again going to roll on an over in this event here today. And it's really based on just the trends, guys. We don't have much to work with except the trends. And so you can't really send it all in on these, but at the end of the day, you want to be a part of it in some way or form, simply because everything kind of points that way. In Oregon, as a home favorite, 52-25-1 to the over. 59-29-1 to the over their last 89 home games altogether. These two teams get together 11-5 to the over, 6-1 to the over in Oregon. So, and Stanford, they bring the numbers too. 9-2 to the over. Their last 11 games as a road underdog. 22-6-1. Their last 11 as an underdog. Their last 29 as a road underdog. 22-6-1. Come on, guys. Play that game over. Make some money. Pull a little some for on the Action Jackson with Stanford. We're going to have a good day today, guys. We're going to make some money today. So I'm glad I'm watching. Am I watching? No, I am. All right. I'm only entertaining myself. All right. I'm a crime inside my mind. And the next play on the schedule, Florida, big SEC matchup at Georgia. The winner is probably in the driver's seat for the championship game. Probably. So Georgia, 3-point favorite, total 54. Tony, bring it.
World's largest cocktail party, right? Jacksonville, Florida. They love, down south, it doesn't really get any better than this game, as far as a fan perspective. Obviously, 2020 just screws up everything in life, man. It's just been a crazy, unpredictable year. This game, I love Georgia's defense, man. I'm in love with this team's defense. Even last week, when they played Kentucky, and you knew that that was a look-ahead game to this week. Kentucky scores 3 points. Okay, so it's almost like it's the intangible that is hard to measure because it's so powerful, and you're not even sure how powerful it can be if asserted. And I think today it's going to be asserted. Now, the only time I really didn't like Georgia in the game this year, when I thought their offense was overmatched against Alabama, and we were right. So Georgia's been one of these teams I've been pretty damn good. The Tennessee game, the coach angle, I've been able to get my spots with this team this year, and I actually faded them and was right in the Alabama game. So I give Florida some credit for what they're doing, but I see a team that is playing a little better than they are. Defensively, they're not even in the same league as Georgia, if you ask me, when you look how suffocating they can be. Offense, not bad. I mean, they're probably on level kind of with Georgia offensively, but the defensive, I'm going to take this spread. I mean, come on, guys. This is like, I don't know, man, a fish in a barrel. Just give me Georgia. I love them in this matchup, and I think they're going to they might have to grind it out. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out by 30 points, but by the end of this one, you're definitely going to know who the better team is, and I think Georgia gets an easy cover here.
I tend to agree with you. I have a tough time pulling a trigger. I think it's just going to be a tough battle. Usually on these battles, I will like to play the underdog. I don't want to play it here. I agree with your assessment here. And, usually defense is going to be the winner in the game in a big matchup. So I believe the defense will probably step up. The under has hit is 6-2-1 the last 9 meetings, 4-1-1 in Georgia. The road team, though, 5-1. So you got to give Florida that. But the favorite, 5-0. So a lot of back and forth. So you got to really have your good feel for these two teams. I believe Tony does when he says Georgia will shine as the better team today. But it will be a close game. I do believe that. All right. Our next game on the schedule, New Mexico. They are at Hawaii. And we're only talking about this one, Tony, because I believe you have some action on this game.
Action Jackson alert. Action Jackson. This is going to be your late night after pretty much all the other games have completed. And you're sitting there.
The late night Hawaii bailout over.
Right. I hate that. Don't do that. Don't bail out on anything. But just I'm hoping that you have a stack of money from the day and you just peel a couple off and just to keep the flow going into Sunday morning. This is a situation where New Mexico, I have on my rating, I have a little diverse ratings, a way of calculating a team's ability to play football and score. I got New Mexico literally only UTEP. There's only a couple teams below them. I consider New Mexico garbage. Hawaii, going back home, I see it can be 50-20. I don't even put that up there, but I'm just throwing that number out there as just some egg on the wall. But that's the kind of thing I'm looking for here. Hawaii. The only scary part about this spread is if New Mexico is able to get some garbage points after this game is long decided. Hawaii's going to kick their ass, and I think at the end they'll still be over this number. You're going to get a cover. Not a big play again. Action Jackson, guys. Remember, money management and temperament. But I do like Hawaii here, Lou.
Yes, sir. Action Jackson, yes. Many late Saturday night on that Hawaii over.
The rainbows, baby. How many? Oh, yeah. We even did that back when the days when you had the huge satellite dishes on top of the bars, dialing in the Hawaii game, and there's like 200 people gathered around watching it. Yeah, I know the feeling, Lou. But yeah, that's the kind
Absolutely.
It's a solo, isolated game tonight. And if you need something, there you go. And there's my black cat.
I know, but it's what? The over's just not the way it used to be. It's not there anymore. It's not an auto. It was an auto play. If you were up late and you didn't fall asleep, it was auto play Hawaii over. And many times it was big play Hawaii over as well. So you planned it throughout the day too. Now, I don't see the auto ticket anymore. 5 out of 6 road games to the under for New Mexico. 7-3-10 to the under in conference games. I'm not gonna. My days
I
of
know why
pulling the
their games
Hawaii.
go under. Bro. You want to know why the games go under? Because they never score. The total could be
They
58.
throw and never score. Yeah.
Yeah, it could
Well,
be.
that's
It could
well, no, that's I'm sorry, that's New Mexico. Well, New Mexico, yeah,
right. New
they've
Mexico, they just don't score. If New Mexico's not go, or is New Mexico the one that's going under? All
yeah, New
these games are
Mexico's a
getting.
dead under.
Yeah, so
Hawaii
and I
used
can see why because they don't score. New Mexico doesn't score. The total can be 55 and they're 35-point underdogs, and it'll be 42-3. Literally,
no doubt.
I can see those. You look down their games, that's all you see is they give up 30, 40 points and they don't score every game. So
Yeah.
although the last game they did put up 31, I think so. So I think that's why I'm playing Hawaii. Just a little action, Jackson.
Right. Just to give you an idea on them Hawaii over numbers, Hawaii over 46, 22, and 3, their last 71 home games versus a team with a losing record. So
There
when
you
they
go.
have a team with a losing record, those games go over. Now, but check this out. All right. When they're a home favorite, recently, last 10 games as a home favorite, 7 of them have gone under. So that the over train is cracked. So now you really got to handicap the damn thing. So there's certain you
That's
got
what
to
I
work
do.
sometimes.
You got me
Well, you
for,
work,
man.
but sometimes you find these nuggets that last forever.
I feel
And
you,
when you
man.
do,
I don't. Hey, I'm always the one. I think I've preached it on the show. You don't go against momentum, bud. You don't
yeah,
step in front of the moving bus with the extended hand trying to stop it. You're just going to get run over. Or you
that's
can
it.
just step back. You can step back up on the curb and let the bus slide by. That's what I normally do. I just get out of the way. I'm not going to bet against something that's 70% for 20 years. Why? What's the point?
Yeah, which would have made you money yesterday. Obviously, if you played BYU, because Boise Ross came in with some strong numbers on Boise, and the numbers failed. But it was pretty much that kind of season. That kind of matchup because BYU. They seem to they played some weak opponents and they did the job. We weren't sure, but BYU obviously did the job last night. So,
They're looking. Hey,
but
those Mormons are playing good football, bud. I tell you what, the Mormons have it
that's
rolling
that's
this
the train
year.
to be on. Yeah,
Yeah, that was impressive. That's all I can say. That was impressive last night to go to Boise and do that. That was nice.
you got it. All right, so let's close this up here with the Clemson Notre Dame game here. Now, obviously, big things rocking on the Clemson campus with the COVID, with last week's game. What do you see in this one tonight, Tony?
Yeah, golly. I mean, this almost feels like getting when you're a kid and you went to the state fair and the first thing you wanted to get some cotton candy because it's just so sweet and tasty. That's kind of what I'm seeing here with Clemson, man. You could probably put the guy behind ukulele into the game here. I love the fact that Clemson had to come. So you get this young kid some experience last week. He has to grind out a performance, come from behind win for Clemson. In a almost obvious bubble position. That game last week, looking ahead to this one, right? I mean, you almost could have predicted that from Clemson last week. But now I just don't see Notre Dame sticking with this team, right, Lou? I mean, I've watched Notre Dame over and over again. Their offense is like, if they can't muscle you, they can't beat you. They can't. That's all Notre Dame really has going for them is the ability to muscle teams on both sides of the ball. So the coach is playing it that way. Clemson is going athletic, okay? They're going to run right by these guys on offense. I see Clemson having a big offensive day. That 50-point total, man, that doesn't seem – because I'm going to actually throw out a score here. I like 36-20. So I got 56. And I love Clemson. I think it's Clemson all day long here. They're going to go into Notre Dame and just thump them they're going to kick them like a cockroach in the corner, Lou. I love Clemson here.
It's not hard to disagree. I mean, it's not hard to. What am I saying? I guess I agree with you, Tony. I'm a little worried.
How many times has Notre Dame been set up in this position in the last 25 years in a huge game and shit the bed? I can count them like 20, 30 times. It seems like once or twice a year this happens where they get into a position against a really good team with a spread that's not ridiculous, and they just get thumped, man, time after time. This is like you're saying with these other games with the overs. How many times do I have to watch Notre Dame fall flat on a big national stage against a top-ranked team and shit the bed, and then the next time I'm jumping right on it? Like you say, I'm waiting for this. This was one of the games I was waiting for this week, and I love it. I love the fact Clemson had a tough time last week. That's going to maybe take a little pressure off the money. I'm going to get a better number. Thank you. I'll take it.
It got you a better number. There's no doubt. Because, opened up at 3. It's up to now as high as 6. And like I said, it's easy to it's just to me, the reason I'm not hammering it is really because I'm scared of Notre Dame home underdog. It's not much anything more than that. Home underdog, big national spotlight, huge game against number one team, but really the team to beat that's missing their star quarterback. It has all the makings where, if you have anything, it's left on the field today.
I just think everything Notre Dame has is not going to be enough, man. I just think the Clemson's defense tonight is probably going to show you, and this isn't not the best Clemson defense, but watch and see what they do athletically to this Notre Dame team. I think it's going to be a perfect spot for Clemson here. I love it off that not cover. Watch Clemson just come out here and steamroll them, Lou. That's my gut prediction, and my numbers show it. They're just going to overpower Notre Dame tonight.
All right. I like it, Tony. You're convincing me. I could see me having some action on Clemson today as well, just based on your vibe, honestly. So I appreciate it. And with that being said, we've given out plenty of picks. You got anything left for a most interesting play?
I'll tell you what I was going to do, Lou. I'm going to do one of your teasers, bud. Let's give out – I'm not going to give you my best play here, guys. My best play is going to be mixed in this teaser, but I'm not going to specifically tell you which game it is. But I think this teaser has a chance. It's basically going to buy some insurance on 4 teams. We're going to do Cincinnati, Iowa, Liberty, and Clemson. Put those on your team. What is a 4-team teaser? Whatever it pays, that's what I like. Send it back to you. That's my most interesting play, Lou.
All right. My recommendation on teasers are always a 6-point teaser. Always.
What's the 4-teamer pay? 4 teams, 6 points.
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. Okay, there you go. That's. Yeah. I say you're going to be a damn good chance of hitting that because I like these games. I think you could make the number without the teaser, but like I say, let's put the insurance policy on it so you can get a winner here.
There you go. I like it. And like I said, the 6-point teaser is the way you want to go unless you're buying into a key number on one of those plays in that teaser. And then you want to sit down and weigh that out. So, the 7-point teaser, you're paying a lot of money for them extra points, and the value is usually taken out. So, all right, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, I am going to load up text. I'm going to load up my machine. So if you text free winner to 90210, I am going to offer you as well a free teaser or parlay. Going to look at this real quick. Going to load up that machine. Going to have it there for you. Just text free winner to 90210, and I'm going to get you a whole weekend's worth of action. Going to get you plays for today. Going to get you plays for tomorrow, and it will carry into Monday night's NFL matchup. So get yourself plenty of free action from me. Just text free winner to 90210. And if you're on T-Mobile, you have to call me. It doesn't work on T-Mobile. And you have to call 877-711-WINS. This is Louis Diamond. Thank you for joining us today on BettorCenter Live. I'll be here tomorrow morning. Chip will join us, Tony and I, tomorrow morning for some NFL action. Plenty of winners for you again. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time on BettorCenter Live.